Hello and welcome to today's crypto video where I'm going to be talking about ChainX and why I'm super bullish on this project and what's to come in 2021 for ChainX, and I'm sure you will be very bullish too. Once you watch this full video, make sure you don't miss any of it. I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. But before that, if you're new here, my name is Claudio and this is Crypto Chain, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials and interviews. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, or dislike if you don't, and leave a comment below telling me what you think. And without further ado, let's dig straight into ChainX. I have done a review of ChainX before. It is an older review. They've changed quite significantly since then, so I'm going to try and summarize this with the info that I've got about ChainX, the latest info on why I'm personally so bullish. So the first thing with ChainX is the market cap. Okay, the market cap is still very low, 32.9 million, as we can see here. It is quite volatile because of the supply. Okay, this supply is actually wrong here, 7.7 million. The one on CoinGecko is correct, which is around 8.3 million, and it's constantly being generated until all 21 million will be generated. Now, why am I bullish on ChainX? Well, ChainX are going to be the bridge between Bitcoin and polkadot. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, well, what is the point of moving Bitcoin over to polkadot? Well, you got to remember that there are platforms on polkadot that are going to be used for decentralized finance purposes, for taking loans, for swaps, for things like that. So you will need to have a BTC version, a Bitcoin version on the polkadot ecosystem, because otherwise you can't move the physical Bitcoin from the Bitcoin blockchain over to polkadot. It's not possible. So you need to have that bridge to bring the asset over and peg it. So you may be asking yourself, well, how can I peg it? Well, it goes into a pool, and in that pool it kind of gets locked there, not burned, and then what happens is XBTC is generated with the same amount that you've used BTC to lock up in that pool. So that is very, very good for ChainX, because you actually need to hold PCX in order to have that kind of pool. Those pools are going to be called vaults. Okay, and we're going to be looking at that in a moment, where the actual white paper, the new white paper 2.0, was summarized. So I'm very, very bullish on that bit. Now, if you look on their Twitter page, they've got a lot of news here, but you should definitely read this article. It is a bit technical, but if you read it like 2 or 3 times, you'll wrap your head around it if you're not a technical savvy person. The one posted on the 4th of January, how much can PCX be worth in the future? Okay, now the other thing that we got to keep in mind, and this is going back to the tutorial that I did on Acala network and how ChainX and Acala network can work together too, and they will be working together. Okay, if we go to the Acala Mandala app here, and we go to the swap section, we can see in the swap section XBTC is here. Okay, so Acala are preparing for the bridge. The bridge has to be there for when Acala launch, because they need to have XBTC, right, to be able to offer that for swapping. When you're swapping on the Acala Mandala dApp to, of course, AUSD or anything else, LDOT for example, or NBTC. But the other big one is the borrowing, right? Now they're actually working on this dApp at the moment, so not all the functionality is here as it used to be when I did the tutorial, but check out my tutorial, because I actually speak about, actually show you how to borrow, and of course I talk about it and I go through the different options. But just to quickly reiterate here, if you go to create, again, it's not showing any kind of image here just because they're working on this dApp now. It is in testnet, but as you can see here, you can actually use XBTC, which is the interchain Bitcoin, as collateral. You can use this as collateral. Okay, so you get the BTC, the actual Bitcoin, from the Bitcoin blockchain, you move it into the vault, which is controlled by ChainX, then it turns into XBTC, and then from there you can use that XBTC, of course, all done through your wallet coming from the vault and so on. You then use that XBTC to take loans on Acala Mandala, for example, using XBTC as collateral, and of course you can get loans in, say, Acala or maybe DOT or anything else, right? So that is pretty cool, and you can also get AUSD loans too. I think AUSD is the most used type of loan that you can get, at least for now, on Acala, right? Likely they're going to be using, or they're going to have different coins that you can take loans of, but AUSD is the main one, which is actually the stable token of Acala network. So of course that's going to be tradable too. It is going to be tradable within the Acala ecosystem too. It's swappable. I mean, if you go to swap here, you can swap between AUSD and other assets here. See, between AUSD and Acala, you can buy Acala as long as there's liquidity, of course, in the pool. and so on. And if you have Acala, you can then stake it and so on. But let's not talk about Acala too much. This video is about ChainX. I just wanted to show you really with the Acala Mandala app how important it is, right? Because it will have a use case, and that's just one of them. Now let's look at the summary that was done here by a community member from their new white paper. So why should you be bullish on ChainX? That's what you're here. That's why you're watching this video, right? So I was looking for this exact same information before I got bullish on ChainX. So why am I bullish? Well, one of the highest staking rewards for ChainX is that it's 42% API. So that means that you get 42% of your holding that you're staking per year as a reward. Now keep in mind that this reward will only last until May this year, and as of May it's going to halve, because the reward halves just like with Bitcoin with the block rewards, because it's being mined at the moment. But don't think of it as mined in a way of proof of work, but mined while actually while the validators are verifying those transactions on the blocks. Okay, so until all 21 million are mined or validated, you could say, or checked, verified, and so on. So the cool thing about this is that you're not going to see the 21 million in circulation anytime soon, right? So it's going to get halved. You're going to get 21% API as of May until 2023. Okay, so they're going to keep on halving then again and so on. So yeah, I mean, it's going to take a long time before all 21 million are in circulation. So that's just something to keep in mind. In terms of crypto years, I mean, 3 years is a long time, 2 years is a long time, 1 year is a long time, right? So yeah, this is pretty much one of the bullish aspects of it. And you got to keep in mind here that by May, you're going to have another big event happening. So I'm going to be talking about that in a moment. But if we look here at the node operators, they can unbound their stake for 30 days. Okay, normal staking can be unbounded within 30 days, within 3 days. So what this means is that if you're a validator, you do need to wait 30 days before you can remove your stake if you're no longer interested in being a validator and verifying transactions. Maybe you don't want to be paying for that virtual private server anymore. Maybe you don't have a server, or you had a server and you're no longer able to maintain it, and for various reasons, right? Anyway, you need to wait 30 days for that. Now, if you're just a normal nominator or a regular person who wants to stake on an existing node or an existing validator, you need to wait 3 days to get it back, which is better than Kusama, which is currently 7 days, and much better than Polkadot, which is 28 days. So it just shows you another benefit here of ChainX. It takes much less time to unstake in case the price pumps and you want to sell for some reason, right? Maybe you don't want to unstake everything, maybe you want to unstake some because you want to sell. So yeah, 3 days is not a very long time if you think about it. Now, again, you can keep all of your coins in your wallet, which is fine, right? Because that's where you're delegating everything. Now you can stake over 24 hours, you can claim your rewards and then restake if you want and compound the interest. And again, you can actually claim whenever you want. I've done a tutorial on ChainX's wallet. Just have a look at that. I show you how you can claim there and how you can stake. You can claim as soon as you want. There's no as soon as you're generating something, you can claim. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to claim anything that's less than the transaction fee because you're then paying a bigger cost, but it's just something to keep in mind, right? Now, again, they're just reiterating here the 3 days unlock, but the big one, right? This is the bullish one. This is probably the reason why the price has done really, really well from the announcement. And this is the official announcement of the Kusama ChainX coin. There is no official name. People are speculating it's going to be KCX, and this is what the community is calling it at the moment, like Kusama CX. Okay, it's going to be airdropped at a 1-to-1 ratio to all holders of PCX. So of course that's huge, right? That's very, very good. So imagine you have 1000 PCX, you're going to get 1000 KCX on top of that, which of course is going to have the exact same use case as PCX, except it's going to be on Kusama. So you're going to be staking, of course, KCX if you're interested, or you can use it in the vault in order to generate the XBTC version on Kusama, because this is the whole purpose here. We're having this interoperability situation, and remember that in the future Kusama and Polkadot will be interoperable with each other in the sense that you can actually make transfers and you can transfer assets, you can move around liquidity pools and do all kinds of stuff in between these two blockchains. So that is awesome, right? In between these two ecosystems, we should say, because there's going to be parachains on Kusama that are not going to go on Polkadot, and they maybe want to be interoperable with some other parachain on Polkadot, right? So hence why it's very, very big. and the ecosystem is just constantly growing. That's why I'm so hyped about both Polkadot and Kusama. So this airdrop is going to be huge, right? Anybody that wants to get free coins is going to get free coins with ChainX here. So it's a no-brainer, right? Why not, right? So yeah, and also staking. We don't know what the price is going to be, but we're just, you know, I mean, of course you can speculate that perhaps the price is going to be around the same, but what if it's not? Like, look at Polkadot, look at Kusama, do the comparison, look at the market caps, right? Polkadot is the king, Kusama is the little cousin. It's got a much lower market cap, so it could be the same with ChainX, in PCX, I mean, and KCX, if that's going to be the name. So yeah, I mean, this is great, right? And here, another advantage. Do you have Bitcoin? You can earn PCX by locking your Bitcoin into XBTC and get mining revenue interests in PCX. So not only can you stake PCX to earn PCX, but you can mine Bitcoin to earn PCX at the same time. So that is very good, right? This is going to motivate people that have Bitcoin to get PCX, right? Why not? So that's a dual mining concept, which is mind-blowing, of course. There's more information here on the new white paper, of course, which they're basically just reiterating it here, and they're just reiterating once again how it's going to work with the airdrop. And again, there is no official name. So again, after the launch of the Kusama parachain function, ChainX will be connected to the Kusama network via the parachain. The main network of the independent consensus chain is light enough nodes to cross-link BTC so that all the parachains that operate in BTC are working. And the project side crossed BTC in the independent ChainX, independent chain ChainX, and then released the XBTC by multiple signatures of the block. So basically, they're just saying here how you can actually do it, how you can actually generate XBTC on the Kusama vaults. And I don't mean like actual Kusama vaults, but more like the ChainX version on Kusama. Okay, so they're gonna have their own vaults there basically. And the idea here is that they're gonna be, just as we have validator nodes, there's gonna be vault nodes. Apparently the validator nodes can also be vault nodes, so they can actually use, you can actually stake PCX there in order to generate a liquidity pool for people that want to swap in and out, right? So that is good. And then another thing here, they're basically explaining that PCX is a utility token, right, in its essence. So it's used as collateral for XBTC deposits in the near future. So you could see it as the BNB, the Binance coin, of course, that you pay fees in BNB, right? You pay the transaction fee. So initially they'll be using BTC as the guinea pig, and the design of the bridge and its DeFi applications within ChainX will be the testbed. In the later half of 2021, we'll be opening to more tokens as the system gets finalized. In 2022 Q1, it'll become a full-fledged relay chain, bringing with huge efficiency boost. So in Q1 of 2022, it's already going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be, it should be interoperable. It should have the ability to hold multiple vaults with various other assets, probably Ethereum too, probably Neo, probably Ontology, probably all these big projects, probably even Cardano, right? Maybe even Cosmos, who knows, right? Again, I'm joking, right? Cosmos has its own separate ecosystem, but it's just an example. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely huge what ChainX is doing, and I hope you learned more in today's video thanks to this news as well, thanks to their second version of the white paper. I mean, yeah, I'm super hyped about this, and probably the final thing that I should mention in this video, and again, don't leave, is regarding Huobi, right? I don't know if you know about Huobi, but Huobi have made an announcement that they're going to be supporting all the Polkadot ecosystem projects if you're a sponsor. So anybody who's holding like 300,000 DOT can become a sponsor, and then they can submit up to 2 projects per month. So what can actually happen is that the Polkadot Foundation, because the Polkadot Foundation hold like millions of DOT, right? So the Polkadot Foundation, all they have to do is basically submit the application form, send 300,000 to Huobi, and basically hold it on their exchange. And then once they get that approval, of course, then they can submit 2 projects that can be listed on Polkadot, or sorry, on Huobi. So just imagine how easy it's going to be to list these top projects. So how bullish are you on that, right? Think of all the Polkadot projects that are out there. Now, which ones do you think are more likely going to get listed? In my personal opinion, I think ChainX is one of them, also Darwinia, simply because ChainX is going to be in the first batch of the parachains, right? So, and also the the lead developer of ChainX, is actually friends with Gavin Wood, right? He's been helping Gavin Wood, he's been helping the Web3 Foundation and Polkadot, so they've got a good relationship. So it's pretty obvious here that Gavin Wood has good intentions for ChainX and he wants them to succeed, and we could very likely see the Polkadot sponsors eventually just saying, okay, let's list ChainX, PCX. So look, Kusama got listed there, so why wouldn't PCX get listed there? I'm not saying it's going to happen next, but it could be this year, it could be very, very soon, it could even be before summer, right? So yeah, this is something to keep in mind. Once ChainX gets into the spotlight with Kusama's parachain launch, then you could expect big things coming up. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you bullish on ChainX, especially after watching this video? Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye.